Hi everyone! Today we're going to make, hopefully, 7 different types of mezes. Now we're getting to know each other, and you see I live for challenges, and because you liked hummus last week so much and you asked for mezes, some of the people did, I said okay, I'm going to choose mezes that are incredibly easy, and all these recipes are idiot proof, and for the challenge I'm going to make these 7 mezes in 20 minutes. If I do it in 20 minutes, you'll definitely do it in 30 maximum. So for a 30-minute recipe, a meze table. And in Turkey, we eat the mezes like some people drink, some people don't. But the ones who drink, the meze table is also called çilingir sofrası, a locksmith table. Why is it called this way if you ask? Because like we sit together, we drink our rakı, and it opens the lock of our mouths and we share. And what the world needs right now is sharing. Sharing whatever we have inside with dignity and freedom. Now the world is going through a really hard time, and if something is going to save it, it's going to be equality, it's going to be love, and it's going to be not talking too much, but being able to listen, understand, and give the chance for the other one to exist. No matter the color, no matter the gender, no matter the education, no matter the wealth. So the clock is here.
So it's 10 to 4, okay.
We are starting right now. First, I'm going to start with eggplants. I'm going to, in a way, grill them. I'm making marks like this. Why? Because there's air in the eggplant and the skin is like very tight. But if you don't do this scarring thing, because when it gets hot, the air gets bigger, and if there's no place for the air to go out, it will burst in some place, like poof. And it's kind of dangerous also when you fry eggplant, because it can come to one of your places. And in Turkey, we have over 100 different types of eggplant dishes, and I want to share this with you over the years, hopefully. It's one of the most tasty vegetables in the world. If you don't use it much, you should definitely think about using it. I have turned on the heat a little, and it's going to cook in like 6-7 minutes. Now, here I have cleaned the black-eyed peas. I took the ones which were floating on top.
Why?
Because like we evils get in and then eat inside, even though there's no bug or something, it might be inside before it turns to like a little fly, which comes from these things. It might be full of eggs and we shouldn't eat it. Like if it eats inside, it becomes light, so it floats. So I add a bit of water. I don't add, normally it's not so good to add salt while you're boiling, but when it's cooking, the salt gets inside more, so I put a little salt, not so much, and I'm going to, with the pressure cooker, cook it for about 15 minutes.
If I don't have a pressure cooker, this will take a lot of time, no?
Half an hour probably. Now, the second one is also done. Third one is called atom. It's incredibly nice, and in recent years it's really popular. Normally it's yogurt with evaporated water, or like the water is taken out, so it's thick yogurt and on top is butter and a bit of chili. But what I'm going to do, because usually the yogurt you eat in the world is very creamy, instead of yogurt I'm going to use labne, because it's more widely sold around the world. But if you don't have it, you can always use yogurt. And if you want to evaporate, you get the cheesecloth, add the yogurt and let the water drain, and it becomes something like this. In the middle, I make a pit like this, and it's almost ready. Now, for the top, I'm going to add a big tablespoon of butter. Now when it's melting, it's creamy like this. Milky side should go down, so I'm going to wait for a while. Normally, we have dried peppers like this. You put this one and it becomes really nice and red and very hot. But I know you won't be able to find it all the time. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to also add chili pepper like this. I like the seeds a lot. They're not really hot. The hottest part of the pepper is the strings that are attaching the seeds actually. So I add the pepper like this. Now, as you can see, the white part has came up on the top. So I turn off the heat and add this one. It becomes something like this. So I take it off the heat a bit like this, turn the plate 45 degrees and let it get some air inside so it becomes like bubbly, and I add it like this. Atom is done, black eyed peas are cooking and eggplants are almost done. And we're only like 6-7 minutes through. These parts are not cooked yet. So I'm turning the eggplants accordingly. For example, the head is harder, so I put it like this. So the fourth one is melon and white cheese. White cheese, beyaz peynir. It's Turkish feta, like, you know, there's always this competition with Greeks and Turks about who owns what. And as I said, this is like everyone has a place on the table, so I'm not ever gonna get into that discussion. Oh, it smells incredible. How to choose melon? You have to smell the S. So I take the seeds off, and like for everyone on the table, we have one melon. What we do is just, we do this, but we don't cut the melon. To the plate, we put it like this, with the skin together. And what it goes great with is this cheese. I've eaten feta and I've eaten, of course, white cheese. Everyone likes theirs, and I like Turkish white cheese and all these holes. And the smell is great, something you should definitely taste when you come to Turkey. Why you eat it with an alcohol is one of the things that you eat in the beginning, because it's really good for the stomach. It's together with cacık, creates a layer around the stomach so the alcohol doesn't hurt the stomach and doesn't get you drunk so fast. Another thing which is great is pickles. We have great pickles. You can pickle anything, and I'm going to make a pickle issue how we make Turkish pickles.
And pickles are wonderful for
intestines, yeah. Great probiotics. These are the ones that I've made. It could be any pickles, whatever you have would be done. I turn the heat. It could be grapeseed oil, sunflower oil, any kind of frying oil that you use for your potatoes. Now we have 2 eggplants, and I believe they're done. How we understand this part is not like this is still hard. These parts are really soft. So I'm going to put it like this. For example, this one everywhere is done. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put it here, and on top of it put a plate for it to sweat so that I can take the skins off easier. Now what I'm going to do, I take this off to my cutting board. I make an incision like this and open it. Look at it inside with a spoon. Take this. If I did this in the oven, it would take a bit more time, but the skins would not be like getting in the way this much. It would be easier to clean. But as you can see, we have cleaned it. This goes to the compost bin. Whoop. This one, I'm not going to make it sweat because I don't have time. I'm going to show you the difference. Not so hard.
This is my favorite.
This is lots of people's. Sorry. This is lots of people's favorites. 2 of the eggplants are ready. If it stays for a long time, the color is going to change. I'm going to add 1 garlic to this mixture and a bit of olive oil after I chop. What you can do is collect all these together like this and then chop like this. You don't need a chef's knife to do this. Or if you have just 1 knife, you can always do this. Now,
Can I put it in a mincer?
Knife is much better. So I put salt and a bit of olive oil. This is also done. Okay, finally we need a bit of lemon. I'm not going to use the whole lemon, so I'm going to make an incision and do this. This way the lemon stays longer, fresher. Too much lemon doesn't work on this, so keep in mind. This is also done. So almost 15 minutes. I'm going to check the oil. I put a wooden spoon, and if it bubbles around, which it does right now, it means it is ready. I have peppers like this. I've cleaned this and then put it into the blender. The outside should not be wet. If it's wet, it's going to have pot effect because of the water. So you have to clean it like this.
Any types of pepper will do, huh?
Yes, actually I wanted a big one, but I couldn't find it this week. But if it's a big pepper, what we did with the eggplant, be sure to make a score. 2, maximum 3 minutes, and they are all done. You can, by the way, fry it with the olive oil. I put a sea salt on it, and it's also ready. And finally, the eggplant. I take the skins of the eggplant like this. Then cut them in like big chunks like this. And I put it in the oil. While they are cooking, I have to save the black-eyed peas. And 20 minutes is done. I lost the challenge. Black-eyed peas turn to black very fast. So what we're going to do, we're going to save the water, but rinse it at the same time. This is too much for the meze table, but I put a lot of olive oil, quite a lot of salt. And actually I needed more lemon, so I can use my lemon like this. We have something called the olive oil dishes. And in Turkey what we do, we fry onions and we add the vegetables and etc. But another way is just boiling and putting olive oil. And this is a version of it. It's so simple and very tasty. And you don't need anything else. You need good olive oil. You don't even need garlic in this. Finally, I take a tomato. And I take 2 garlics and roughly chop them, very rough. Put 3 tablespoons of olive oil. Olive oil is the only oil which is vegetable juice, and it's very healthy. It's good for your cells and intestines as well. When oil is processed, we don't even still know the downsides so well. Now, I'm going to grate the tomato, and to grate the tomato, I take the top part off. The skins also go to the compost. Now I started to smell the garlic, but the color hasn't changed. Still, at this time, I'm going to add the tomato. I miss the smell and even the sound. This is like a summer dish, so we haven't done it for a year almost. When it simmers like for 2 minutes, then it's ready. The eggplants are still cooking. If I haven't done the eggplant recipe, we would be fine. It's okay.
As meze sofrası is something slow, preparation could be a bit slower.
The eggplants are done. Now the color has to be like brownish, still soft. So I take the extra oil out and then I put it on a kitchen towel for it to soak the extra oil of the eggplant. If I crowd it, it won't be able to leave its oil and it's going to be oily and heavy and it's not going to be pleasant. At this point, I'm going to add the salt for the eggplants and toss it a bit like this. And the oil level haven't changed, and that's something we want.
What does that mean?
First it soaks and then it leaves it to the oil again. Nowadays I'm really working on saving, so frying oil, this is the one that I've used like 3 times. I can also use it 2 or 3 times more. What I do, if there's something inside, I just leave it to go to the bottom and then I put it on a jar and then use it wherever I want again. And I put the oil on a dark place and not so warm so that it won't get bad easily. Now I'm going to add this tomato sauce, which is by itself heaven. It's just garlic, tomatoes. This is pink, so it's not very red. And just for the color, not for the taste, I'm going to add a bit of parsley on top. All done. 7 mezes in about 28 or 30 minutes. Now we set our table for eating, and there I'm going to tell you how we should eat it and how we should drink it. Now I would like to introduce you to this girl. She's called Meze. Actually, her name comes from this great sofra. Sofra is more than table. We have like a word for the table in Turkish, but sofra is something about that. And meze, these little things, also is the name of this girl we found resting above an automobile wheel. And now she's here with her great name. She is like this little taste which makes our world incredibly well. Aman aman aman. If we have haydari, today I didn't make it, we start with haydari for the stomach to go good. But then first, I think it's the cheese and the kavun. Yes. Oh. Oh, this is incredible smell.
Tell us about the rakı.
Rakı has anise oil, which dissolves in alcohol. But when the alcohol level is less than 38%, when you add, this means when you add water, it dilutes and the dissolvent finishes and you get this cloudy color from this anise oil and an incredible smell. Rakı drinking is another culture, but it's not for this episode. I'm going to talk more about it somehow. Now we get a sip of rakı and eat little from the middle, and making sure the other one also eats well, and then we're all set and happy. This simplicity makes this incredible. Or you can have this perfect bite of a bit of pepper, maybe with a bit of atom, like this. Heaven. If you make this and say like I don't like it hot because I cannot eat hot, you can always make it with not spicy pepper. It's going to give it color and its taste. It's going to be amazing. Our differences, like different people eat differently, put it on their plate like small pieces and eat, or like take from the middle bite by bite. All good. For now, this is it. I know it's a bit messy today. One day is never the same to another one. It's really hot as well. But I hope you like it. I hope you do this with your loved ones and share your feelings with the loved ones. And if you do, please inform me. Make it a little notice, Refika, I did this. Refika, I want to do this. Please write it down. I read all the comments that you write. Take great care. Bye-bye.